Hi, I'm Seafood Jake. Welcome to Martial Arts for the Solitary Practitioner. During the class, my assistant Misty will be doing some exercise and kicking modifiers to offer some options for people of various abilities. Please do what feels right for you and try and work up to the full exercises if you can. As with any exercise program, consult with your doctors before taking up this course. Make sure that at no time during the lesson are you holding your breath and that you are constantly engaging your core muscles as you breathe both in and out. Each breath, whether inhaling or exhaling, should feel as though it starts deep in your belly and travels up towards your collarbones. If you're getting tired, just pause the class and get your wind, but try your best to keep your heart rate up during the interval training segments. Additionally, if you do choose to make contact with your training partner during the drill segments, I recommend the use of safety gear such as a mouthpiece, protective gloves, and headgear, as well as always utilizing your most important piece of gear, your brain. You don't always need to go at 100%, nor should you in my opinion. The best martial artists have the greatest control. Finally, this class is offered as informational only. These techniques should only be used as a last resort in extreme situations. The use of these techniques can result in extreme injury or even death, and you assume any legal liability in their implementation. Thank you, and enjoy the lesson. Welcome to the conclusionary episode in these installments of Martial Arts for the Solitary Practitioner. This is day 15, and today's lesson is really more of a summary and an announcement lesson. So I'd like you to go back and re-review all of the stuff. At this point, you have 4 weeks worth of material and 1 week worth of review classes if you're doing it 3 days a week. If you're doing it every day of the week, you have basically 2 weeks worth of hardcore classes that you can do, and then a few days of review. We would like for you to go back and re-review because we're going to be restructuring the program material that we're bringing to you in new installments that are more focused. And so a lot of this material we'll be coming back to a little bit, but we're going to be taking up new studies such as Martial Arts for the Solitary Practitioner. We'll be doing more of an approach with Taekwondo and some more of the Tai Chi, and then we're going to break up a new installment of just the tac aerobics for you, so just the hard-hitting, get your heart up drills. And then we'll also be bringing you the self-defense in its own installments as well. I'd like to review what we've done so far in this class, but not necessarily in the same class format, because I'm actually encouraging you to go back to some of the other classes that we've already done so far. You need to go back and review in more detail some of the stuff that you're having issues with, and remind yourself of all the little things. I threw a ton of material at you in the last few weeks. We're now at the end of week 5 of this course, basically with 3 review classes, including today's. So basically 1 month of solid material and then 3 review classes. So that way you can either just take a week of reviewing and just review the review classes, or you can go and hit it every single day for the next week and really get into the nitty-gritty with it. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much. I don't have as much editing to save my rambling this time around. What I've done is I've taken each range of unarmed fighting and we've moved closer and closer and closer, and we've examined how that works in the viewpoint of the dynamic flow of a fight. That is, no one technique is going to save you. There's no magic trick that I can show you or anybody else, and anyone that claims to is not teaching real martial arts in my opinion. These techniques are not self-working, and you have to fight for it, okay? Like, even if you land a good solid elbow or something, that doesn't mean that it's over. That just means that you've bought yourself that extra second. And understanding that sort of takes a different approach to self-defense that not a lot of instructors are willing to give you. Instead of saying, I'm Superman, and this one technique is going to save your life because no one in the history of humanity has ever known about this secret thing, right? So that's why a lot of martial arts get a bad rep, because they sort of propagate that idea. And so what I wanted to give you is this approach of constantly looking for the next thing, constantly staving off that freeze brain that will occur, right? The tonic paralysis, it's called, when your body starts to shut down because you've told your brain in a dangerous situation that you're screwed and that there's nothing you can do, so your body takes over and basically plays dead, and you'll lock up and freeze and just stand there. And this happens to a lot of people. It's a natural reaction. It's one of the 5 main adrenaline responses, okay? It's not just fight or flight. There's also freeze, and there's a few other responses too, like pose, right? People that just what the whole time. They're not actually doing anything. That's actually an adrenaline response that's different than fighting or flighting or freezing in place. And we can talk about some of those later on down the road. So and then I broke the Wing Chun version of JKD down for you into basically 5 main drills as well. And basically what I did was I approached what Bruce Lee called the 5 ways of attack, and I actually meant to cover that in one of the cool little cutaways, but we just never got around to it. Is a Pak and Lop, right? So just basically this motion, this get away from me type of motion. So our Pak Lop, and then seizing control, or I'm reacting this way, right? Just so that's a Lop and a Pak. And so at any point that I start to take this flinch response and start to turn it into an actual proactive response, that's when we can start to define it as a technique. So that's why I focused a lot on Pak and Lop, Lop and Pak, because these are very reactionary kinds of positions, and the reality is not everyone's going to be bouncing around ready for you. Like, you might just get attacked and your hands go up, and then as soon as you start to turn the tide and make it to your benefit, that's when you start using technique. Okay, so with that being said, I also introduced a drill that we called the if Missy feeds me a punch, I have my Pak and my Lop. This is my reaction drill. We also call this fan block. Okay, we have this drill here, Pak Lop, and then I seize control. Okay, from the other side, Pak Lop, punch. Okay, but we also have what I call the double Pak. So if she feeds me a punch, Pak Lop here, then Pak Lop to the inside. This is this double Pak. Okay, one more time. Pak lock trap, she punches again, Pak Lop. Okay, and I attack back. So what we call the double Pak, we're basically seizing the center. It's this dynamically inward collapsing attack. And then the second drill that we gave you is we call the Lop roll. So it's just Lop Sao, back this, right? Remember this one? Go please review. So she throws me a drill, I do a Lop Sao, and I'm coming over, okay? This is HIA, the 3rd main style of attack from Bruce Lee. So this is hand immobilizing attack. I'm immobilizing the hand. Made most famous when Bruce Lee does this straight Pak Sao, right? With in Enter the Dragon. Okay, so that is a hand immobilizing attack, or level. 5 main types of attack. Single direct attack. That is, I know I'm gonna get attacked and I just poke her in the eye. Before anything happens, one motion, right? Boom, just single direct attack. Eye jab is your example that you learned. Okay, sometimes also called the SAA, or the single angular attack. Boom, right? I don't know what to do, so I just punch her. That is an SAA attack. Level 2 attack, ABC attack, or attack by combination. We spent a lot of time with this with Jacob's secret sauce drill, okay? And that is just constantly boom, boom, one thing leads to the next. That's attack by combination. style attack, okay? And then you have your third type of attack, which we call hand immobilizing attack. It doesn't necessarily mean her hand. It could be just any immobilizing with my hand. Like I grab her hair and punch her in the face. That's an HIA attack, okay? So we talked about that a lot with like the POC drills, where I'm sinking and I'm trapping that body, boom. And I don't have to do a punch, I can use my elbows. You know, it's just the idea of how we learned how to attack. And then your next one, which we didn't focus a lot on, is your progressive indirect attack. That is your PIA attack. And that's something with like a distractionary drill. So we talked about how like I can do a scoop kick and then attack her. So that would be a PIA to an ABC attack in that example. And the idea is just, over here, punch him here, right? That's sort of, look it over here, ka-ding, okay? And we didn't spend as much time as I wanted to on PIA attack. And then the ABD attack, or your attack by drawing attack. And that was the very first thing that you ever learned from me, which is this sort of response by pulling away, or our elbow drills, or like our slap factory, okay? Wide hands invite tight strikes, okay? So I'm offering a sort of choice, and then I'm actually making that part of my attack, okay? And so that's your fifth main style of attack. Oh, yep, and yep. Yeah, attack by drawing. Level 5, as covered in the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Highly recommended reading. Okay, so we covered a drill for each one of these, like the secret sauce drill for ABC, and the arm destroying drill, right? We could call that an attack by drawing or an attack by combination drill. Like, so Missy throws me a strike, I do an elbow drill, boom, 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 boom. Okay, from the other side, boom, 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 boom. Okay, those sort of muscle destructions that we talked about, or defanging the snake. Okay, so it's not that in real life her punch is gonna stay out here and I'm gonna ninja my way all over her arm and da-da-da. It's not the point. What you're trying to learn is that next attack so that you don't induce tonic paralysis, okay? Then we talked about framing, and that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, actually. Oh, except for what Master Vu calls turning on the killer instinct. And Bruce Lee talked, Danny Inosanto talked a lot about the power of explosiveness, or explosive power, and that is another signature of JKD. Okay, so you can be very nice until it's time to not be nice, and you have to learn how to turn that energy on and off. And that explosive control, right, is part of learning how to be really assertive in a situation where you might, things might be dangerous. So I can be nice, and then you just explode, right? And using that killer instinct, turning that part of your body on, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with coming into contact with that. It's how you use it and what you do with it once you realize that it is part of you, that killer instinct. So we're going to talk a little bit more about turning on that killer instinct, and let's see what else, and the explosive power. So like we're here and then you explode into your punch and then it's relaxed. So it's like cracking a whip, everything's loose and fluid, and only at that instant of contact is when you put that tension in and then you let it go. And that is a huge principle in life. You snap to it, boom, and then you let it go. And that is a huge principle of JKD that we'll also talk about in future episodes. Which leads me to, this will be the last of these full-length classes. And obviously this is not a full-length class, this is just a conclusionary class. But we're going to be breaking them up into more regimented. So the exercise stuff, which comes from my program called Tacrobics, will be in its own class. And then the solitary practitioner stuff, we're going to be shifting our examples to a little bit more of the Tai Chi and a little bit more Taekwondo study. And we'll be taking a look at some stances and forms and learn about attack by combination, essentially, through a traditional lens. So that will be its own thing. And then we're going to continue also bringing you some of these applicable strategies of these techniques, you know, self-defense style techniques. And so that will also be its own installment. We have a PayPal. If you really are enjoying these classes, please help us out. You can PayPal us at hopkido@gmail. That is HAPKIDO@gmail.com. And we appreciate your support. If you like a lot of my techniques, they're enhanced by Kubotans, and we also sell those. So if you'd like to get one of our custom Kubotans, they're laser engraved, handmade in the U.S., U.S. steel, and all that, and U.S. aluminum, and all of that. And the guy Mike that makes them, he's a really great guy, and so we support him. And as always, I want you to go back and try it and practice and feel it. And as always, be safe. Was that too rambly? Should I try it again?
I think you're good.